Have a look at this. America, he says, is a nation that can be defined with a single word. But Biden, in his bumbling dotage, couldn't find the word. Have a look at this.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to excuse me.
Peggy, sorry. I'm sorry for you and all our American friends. What has America done to deserve this?
Well, nobody knows what Joe Biden is talking about, but we do know what he's not talking about. And he's not talking about things that the American people care about, like crime, like inflation, food and gas prices, border insecurity. And how sad that the president of the United States can't even say something positive about Americans who would still consider themselves, even under Biden, to be proud and hardworking and patriotic. I would say that the American people would have no problem finding words to describe Joe Biden, and they would be words like a failure, a disappointment, a disaster, an embarrassment. And the fact that we're talking about this all the way in Australia, it proves that the American people know exactly what they're talking about, even though Joe Biden doesn't.
Oh, yes, the whole world is watching on this, and they are disillusioned and feeling a sense of desperation because it just strengthens the hand of Putin and Xi. Nancy Pelosi is the third most powerful political figure in America, just for the benefit of our viewers, if we don't understand this, but if something happened to Biden and Harris, Pelosi would be sworn in as president. She's leading a 6-member all-Democrat congressional delegation on a trip to American allies in Asia, which includes Singapore, Malaysia, South Korea and Japan. Peggy, what about Taiwan?
Well, of course, China sees Taiwan as part of them, but this has a democratically elected governance and is recognized as an ally and a partner, an economic partner and a military partner to us and to many in the West. And so you wonder what Nancy Pelosi is up to, because this is an all-Democrat congressional delegation, like you mentioned, which typically would be bipartisan. But she has excluded all of the high-ranking Republican members who should be on this trip with her. And so what precisely is she up to? And we may not know it yet, but I think that time will tell that Nancy Pelosi is out for her own good, not for national security or for things that will benefit the American people and our national security.
Well, the Pentagon, I mean, this is a very, very big issue from my perspective as I see it. I mean, the Pentagon is saying the move was long planned. Now, it's more than a coincidence, but if she goes, Pelosi would be the most senior US politician to visit Taiwan since the former Republican Speaker Newt Gingrich. But at the same time, Beijing is saying they see such a visit as a sign of increasing US diplomatic and military support for Taiwan. Now, if suddenly she doesn't go, China will have been seen to be able to prevail over America and dictate American behaviour. More weakness.
Yeah, well, Nancy Pelosi has boxed herself and the White House and our military into this corner by leaking the details of this trip. And clearly it was not done with coordination with the military or with White House officials, because they've come out against that. And so you wonder, what is the distraction that she's trying to create? Does she want to make sure that we're not talking about her husband's DUI, which goes to trial this week? Is she wanting to undermine the White House for her own self-promotion? Maybe she has personal or business dealings there that we don't clearly know about yet, but eventually will. But clearly this was done without coordination and has endangered the West.